The road to WrestleMania is officially upon us as WWE Royal Rumble takes place tonight in Phoenix, Arizona at Chase Field, which is a baseball stadium. And just by looking at the set, it reminds me of WrestleMania 19, which took place in a baseball stadium in Seattle. Now, if this show will be as good as WrestleMania 19, then we're in for a treat tonight because that's one of the all-time great WrestleManias. Chase Field is selling a special Royal Rumble burger, and what you have on this burger is a juicy pork bratwurst patty on a toasted onion roll topped with cheddar cheese, smoked bacon, creamy coleslaw, fried onions, and barbecue aioli, plus you have fried mac and cheese wedges. So I really hope there are several bathrooms everywhere in this damn marine or this damn stadium because my God, I can't imagine eating that fucking thing. And even Daniel Bryan called out Chase Field on Twitter for this. So for the pre-show tonight, you have several rotating panelists. They're going to have Jonathan Coachman, David Otunga, JBL, Charlie Caruso, Shawn Michaels, Jerry the King Lawler, Booker T, and Beth Phoenix. And handling the backstage interviews for the pre-show and probably the main show, you're going to have Kayla Braxton, Dasha Funtus, and Sarah Screeber, who also did NXT last night. On commentary, you have, for all the non-Rumble matches, it's the same. It's just the Raw crew and the SmackDown crew, and for the Cruiserweight matches, it's going to be the 205 Live crew. However, for the two Royal Rumbles, for the men's, you have Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Jerry Lawler, and JBL. I don't know why you need both Lawler and JBL. I would have just had one of them for nostalgic purposes, but I hate three-man booths, four-man booth, man. It's going to be brutal just with, imagine Jerry and JBL talking over each other and the other two. For the women's, it's going to be even worse. We have Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and you also have two women, Beth Phoenix and Renee Young. That Evolution commentary last year was brutal with the two of them, especially in the main event, and the way Beth was shouting and Renee was just oohing and awing. My God, I'm not looking forward to that damn commentary. And Stephanie wasn't even that bad last year. So that's what we have for tonight. And now, on the pre-show, we have breaking news. John Cena is out of the Royal Rumble, and Braun Strowman is taking his place. No surprise there. We all knew Strowman would be in it anyways. And we know Cena's injury is actually just a work. They had Kathy Kelly interviewing some wrestlers before the show. They showed that. They showed an interview with Alexa Bliss before the show when she arrived to the arena. They had interviews with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I really hope Mandy doesn't win. They teased one of them's going to turn on each other since they did at the last time at the Evolution Battle Royal. They had a Samoa Joe promo, which it sucked. It was almost off Ali. But the main interview they had was Kayla Braxton interviewing Drake Maverick, in which he announces that the Raw Tag Team Champions will not be defending their titles tonight, but they will have a match. It'll be Roode and Gable going up against the makeshift team, which they mentioned a million times on this damn show. Like a million times. How many times I've heard makeshift team of Rezar of the Authors of Pain and Scott Dawson of the Revival. So, I'm sure Scott Dawson's thrilled. The reason is if they win, each team gets their own tag team title shot. So I guess it's just a way to get them on the show since Akam's hurt. I don't know what's wrong with Dash Wilder though. I guess they didn't even mention him. Show some more video package before we get this amazing Daniel Bryan promo with this empty arena. The entire stadium's empty. It's him and he destroys the Royal Rumble burger, which was just great. It was like he stomps on it. I just thought that was hilarious. I loved it. Daniel Bryan's just awesome as a heel. Just a detestable heel destroying hamburgers now. Just this environmentalist extremist. That's what he is. So he had a tag team non-title match against a makeshift team. He had a makeshift team of Rezar and Scott Dawson against Roode and Gable. Roode and Gable win. Not much there. There was a botch with the camera guy before the match, when they were coming out. And it looks really cool how they come out. I love the ramp. The ramp is exactly like WrestleMania 19. It's like a long, curved, narrow ramp. I love it. It looks really cool. So, in this match, wasn't the impression, I don't know if the Revival were going to be here much longer. Match was okay. So we have Rusev and Nakamura, and everyone knows this is a huge drop-off for Shinsuke Nakamura. He won the Royal Rumble last year. This year he's in a pre-show match for the U.S. title, in which the story's not even about him. The story's about Rusev and Lana. They have a solid match. The main story was Lana coming back. I mean, the match was kind of a sleeper. It was a decent match, but the big story was Lana. She returns, and ending comes Rusev's trying to take off a turnbuckle, and Lana's yelling at the referee, and then Rusev accidentally hits Lana, and Nakamura gets a Kinshasa, and Nakamura is your U.S. champion once again. And then after that, I hope, they showed Lana getting hurt, so hopefully she's not in the Royal Rumble. They showed footage from last night's NXT TakeOver show, in which there was a giant brawl. I saw this on social media. I didn't see it on part of the show. I assumed it was just for TV, but it's not. It was Gargano, Ciampa, Adam Cole, Aleister Black, Ricochet, and the Velveteen Dream, and they announced there's going to be a halftime heat next week during the halftime of the Super Bowl. So 20 years after The Rock and Mankind had that classic halftime heat in the empty arena match. I don't think this will be an empty arena, but we're getting a 6-man tag out of nowhere. This is really cool. I'm looking forward to this a lot more than I am the Super Bowl. So that's actually really cool. And they had Shawn Michaels really hype the matchup. So I thought that was actually well done. Next, you have the Cruiserweight Championship match, Fatal 4-Way. The crowd still doesn't look full. That's unfortunate, but it's Kalisto in there. It's Hideo Itami, Akira Tozawa, and the champ in the match is Buddy Murphy. This was a really fun match. It had a lot of action. He had several false finishes in which they had moments in which you think any of the other three challengers could win, but you all probably knew Murphy was going to win because they had it on the pre-show, which is another big problem I have. Why do you have to have this on the pre-show? You have 4 hours as a pay-per-view, maybe even 5. It's your network. You don't have to worry about some pay-per-view company getting pissed off at you. It's your network. You can't add this on the main show. The problem is when you have it on the pre-show, it devalues it. But the match was still really good. Murphy retains. He's a good champ. I kind of wanted the Tommy to win. Maybe they'd build to a feud, but Murphy is still your Cruiserweight champ. Drew McIntyre promo. Boring. And with that, it is time for the main card of the Royal Rumble to begin. WWE produced a good video package to start the Royal Rumble, and our first match was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. You had Asuka defending her title against Becky Lynch. When Becky came out, she got a huge pop. They went nuts for her. It was the loudest reaction out of anyone on this show. She is by far the most over wrestler in the entire company. I don't think there's even a debate anymore. She's the biggest draw in terms of ticket sales, in terms of ratings. No, definitely not. But in terms of being the wrestler who gets the loudest reaction from the fans and the wrestler who has the biggest emotional connection to the fans right now, it's clearly Becky Lynch. There's nothing you can even dispute about that anymore. Becky is looking great. I mean, she is just looking smoking hot when she comes out. She really has a lot of confidence. You can tell the way she's just soaking in the moment right now. Asuka comes on. The fans liked Asuka. They loved Becky, but they liked Asuka too. They weren't going to boo Asuka. It's like they really respected Asuka, and they liked both of them. So it was a hot match to start the show with. Probably the perfect match to start it with, especially the way they were going to book the whole show. And I can talk a lot about match placement, as I will when we get to later matches, but this was the perfect match to start with. So they started off slow. They circled around each other. They exchanged some strikes. One of the cooler spots was when they started to get near the apron, and what this happens here is Becky Lynch has Asuka on the apron, and Asuka gets her in a suplex. It looks like she's going to suplex her on the apron. Instead, she turns it around and she does a neck breaker off the apron onto the mat, and Becky her head smashes into the ground. It looked nasty. It looked fucking dangerous. Becky hit several Bexploders. One of them was into the barricade, and the big one was a super Bexploder from the top. And I have to mention this. There was a black screen. Becky Lynch had her nip slip. We got to see Becky's tits. Unfortunately, they had another black screen. Second time this week. Last time was on Raw with Sasha, and we saw her bare ass, so not as much tonight. They exchanged finishers with their submissions, which was cool. They had each of them playing their own submissions. There was some sloppiness, I have to admit. And there was some sloppiness in the other women's match too, but it was also good. But there was some sloppiness here. I don't think they had it all the way, and the commentators were missing stuff, and they clearly don't watch a lot of MMA to understand when a fucking hold is in. The announcing sucks, but I like the ending. It's basically Asuka has her in this bridging. It's not like it's almost like an Asuka lock. Instead of having her behind, she has the neck, but she does a bridge, and then Becky's on her chest down, and it looked really good. I did not like that Becky tapped out. She had no business tapping out. I would have liked for Becky to have been in the submission and pass, so I think that would have been a lot better. Like we saw last night with the NXT women's match. I thought that would have been a much better ending. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. They did it last night, but I thought that would have worked a lot better. I didn't like her tapping out cleanly. So all I was thinking was Asuka wins. They weren't booing too hard because I think the fans know, all right, Becky's probably coming back out. At least we hope. Here's what I was thinking at this point. Becky Lynch better come out, or we're going to see a 2014 Royal Rumble in which Daniel Bryan lost to Bray Wyatt earlier in the show. He never came out, and the fans burnt that match alive. They booed the shit out of it. Next year was even worse, but Daniel Bryan was in that match. But I was thinking 14, oh my God, here we go again. Please have Becky come out. You can't be this stupid. So we went to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships next. We had The Miz and Shane McMahon challenging the Bar for the titles. He had The Miz and his dad. He greeted his dad at ringside. Miz's dad's really funny. If you've ever seen, not even The Miz and Miz's show, just the Total Divas, him interacting with his dad's actually a really funny guy. So there's no denying this was a fun match. It's just, I think if you're a wrestling fan, you're annoyed at the way Shane McMahon is pushed. Shane was the star of this match. The whole match was built around Shane. He got all the big spots. He got all the big moments in which the crowd would pop. There was even a spot earlier when he basically teased he was going to dive off the top rope onto Cesaro through an announce table, but they stopped that spot. The coolest spot was when Cesaro had Shane in a giant swing and went on for a long time, and Shane was doing a good job about grabbing the back of his head so he doesn't get too dizzy. Shane, again, it was more about him. They teased a double coast to coast, but they broke that up too. Miz barely did anything. It's like this 48-year-old guy, he's the boss's son. He's really going to be pushed here. But the match was a fun match. You can't say it wasn't a good match. It was good. The ending came with Miz hitting his finisher, and then he takes down Sheamus out of the ring, and Cesaro is down. Shane goes to the top. He hits a shooting star press. 1, 2, 3. Miz and Shane win. That was a great moment. The fans really liked it. Shane wins the title. It is what it is. It was a cool nostalgic moment when he came back 3 years ago. Now, when he's 3 years later, he's winning SmackDown titles. I don't know about that, but Miz and Shane win. I'm sure they'll have their big split and they'll have their match at WrestleMania. Then we go to the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey defending her title against Sasha Banks. We had no video package because they've only had about a few weeks to build this match, but they had Sasha Banks do a really good interview backstage, and she really puts herself as this underdog and how no one believes she's going to win. It makes you think, oh, is Sasha going to win? Sasha Banks comes out, gets a big pop. That was a surprise. The fans really like Sasha here. This is going to be a pro-Sasha crowd, and as soon as Sasha's music stopped playing, they started booing because they booed Ronda. This is a pro-Banks crowd, which I can see with Ronda Rousey. It seems like the fans like Ronda when she's facing someone that's not a great worker. When she's facing Nia Jax, they cheer her. If she's facing another woman who even Alexa Bliss, who the fans like Alexa actually, but they cheered her. If Ronda is facing one of the 4 horsewomen, it looks like they boo her. They're obviously, if she faces Becky, she's going to be booed out of the building. She was booed at Survivor Series with Charlotte. And she was booed with Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble. And they haven't really been pushing Sasha Banks as much. So it's like the fans value their own over Ronda. Going in, I knew this was going to be really good because Sasha Banks is training her ass off for this match. They showed her at the Performance Center just training ridiculously hard. She really wants us to be great. This match was sloppy, I have to say. That's my only complaint. It was a great match. Maybe very good. It was really good, but it was sloppy. And it wasn't necessarily a sloppy in the sense that they've been going at each other for so long. They get tired and it makes it look realistic. There was some sloppiness on Banks and on Rousey. So that's a problem there. But I thought Sasha Banks was great here. I thought she worked ridiculously hard. there was a really cool spot in which this was maybe earlier in the match in which she has Ronda Rousey in this double shoulder lock submission in which she has both Ronda's shoulder blades, and like Ronda is so flexible, it's crazy. Ronda Rousey, she has one of the best bodies in terms of being athletic you'll ever see. It's like she can bend her body in ways, it's insanity. It's like she just does stuff. It's crazy how flexible she is, and they use that to their advantage here. It's like she was a really successful fighter because she was just so athletic. She can get armbars out of nowhere. And here it's like, man, like she can just bend her body in ways. I felt like this match was more about getting Sasha Banks to shine, and that was one thing. I don't know if that was the best move, because I think it might have been better had Ronda Rousey been this dominant, arrogant heel. Had Ronda Rousey dominated Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks being this babyface, and the crowd was really behind Sasha. I think this would have worked better had Ronda been in the heel role, and I think Sasha Banks was booked as the one who got a lot of offense in. She beat up Ronda for a lot of the match, and that was designed to get sympathy for Ronda because they're going to push Ronda, but I think had they done it with Sasha, the match would have been even better. But there was some really good transitions here with the moves. They did the armbar spot on the outside, which Sasha tapped. There was a really cool Banks sandwich. Like she uses, like, I don't know if it's from her bra, but like she has this thing over her arms. It looks like it's connected to her bra, and she used it, and she like did it to choke Ronda. I wish the ref didn't do it because it would have made it look even better. There was some really fun stuff here. The crowd, it seemed like when Ronda got on offense, they were behind Sasha, but I think Sasha got a little bit too much offense. But I still really enjoyed it here. It was really back and forth. I thought both of them did really good here. The ending was fine because they didn't want to have Sasha tap out. Unlike the other woman who they're pushing far more than Sasha right now. I mean, it's okay for her to tap out. They don't want to have Sasha tap out. But it ends up Ronda hitting the Piper's Pit finish. I don't like that name. You just call it reverse Samoan drop or something. She hits it. She pins Sasha. At the end, they have Ronda grab Sasha's hand. She's showing a lot of respect for her. They go on the outside, and they're embracing. Ronda goes to Sasha, and then Sasha just raises the 4 horsewomen up. She points at herself, and she walks away. So that looks like we'll see that match eventually. I'm not too high on that, knowing how the other 3 MMA 4 horsewomen are. Not Baszler, the other 2 are not very good. But yeah, I'm sure they'll do that match eventually. I don't know what Ronda's contract status is, but we're going to see that match. I guarantee we'll see it in the WWE one day, probably this year. Really like this match a lot. Up next, they actually showed Finn Balor and preparing, and they showed Paul Heyman backstage. But now we go to the Women's Royal Rumble. This was the 2nd annual Women's Rumble. 30 women here. We started, they had Beth Phoenix join the announcing. It's her and Renee Young on commentary again. Great. They had Lacey Evans come out for her. She talked for a while, and she's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of her gimmick at all. She isn't a horrible worker, just that gimmick sucks. They had Natalya come out number 2. See, I thought number 2 should have been Alexa Bliss because they had that thing on Raw in which Evans ripped into her. I thought it would have been perfect to have Alexa Bliss here come out at number 2 and her confront Lacey Evans. I think the crowd would have gone nuts. But when Natalya comes out, no one cares about Natalya. That's the truth. Third is Mandy Rose, and so we have Blonde Mania. Vince loves this. We got 3 blondes in the ring. Next, we have a woman who used to be a blonde, Liv Morgan, but she gets thrown out quickly. I don't know why they did that to Liv, but with Mandy, I was thinking, good, she's number 3, she's not going to win. Like, she's not lasting the whole time, so good. Mickie James was out next. Again, not a big pop. I like Mickie. They had Ember Moon. You had Billie Kay. Billie Kay stands on the outside, waits for Peyton Royce. Nikki Cross comes out. She's crazy, but I feel like she's the female Eugene. That's how I view her. Peyton Royce comes in. Her and Billie Kay are in the ring now. They team up. Tamina's number 10, and I love it when Tamina comes out because she gets no reaction. It's like a gag. Tamina comes out, 0 reaction. The fans don't even move. Like when they hear the music, oh, what's that? I haven't heard that. Oh, it's Tamina. No one cares. It's hilarious. No one cares about her. Mickie James is thrown out by Tamina. I don't know why. They had Xia Li from NXT come out. She's from China. They're trying to move into China. They have a male wrestler from China they like too. They gave her some stuff. No one knew who she was. Sarah Logan comes out next. Nikki Cross is thrown out by the Iconics. 13 is Charlotte Flair, and she gets a pop. It's like, uh-oh, it's Charlotte. She got some boos, because I don't think people wanted her to win. They wanted Becky to win, but yeah, people knew business is about to pick up, as Jared would say. The Iconics are thrown out by Lacey Evans, and it's like, the woman here messed a lot of stuff up. The first half of this match sucked. I'll be honest, it was fucking horrible, because the women are missing their cues. You're not supposed to eliminate people during entrances. You're supposed to eliminate people during the intervals before the entrances, and people were just messing up. And there were so much botches here. You had Kairi Sane come out for a big pop, who I like a lot. Sarah Logan and Tamina, a lot of them are eliminated. Maria Kanellis, I don't know why she's still in play. She wants to leave, let her leave. Naomi came out, which I liked when Naomi came out. She went right after Mandy Rose. She eliminates Mandy Rose, which was cool. She got her revenge. And then she has a spot where she's thrown out, but like her it's like she does the Kofi Kingston spot. So she did it last year, I think. She's able to get herself to the barricade. She jumps on the steps, but Mandy Rose comes out, eliminates Naomi, throws her down on the steps. This was a great sequence. I really liked that sequence with Mandy and Naomi. Zelina Vega, I forgot to mention, she came out and she was just going to hide under the ring. It is what it is. I just thought that was stupid. My favorite part of the whole show, I have to say, is Kairi Sane slapping Charlotte Flair's tits. Charlotte has the biggest tits you'll ever see, and Kairi, it's like, what the fuck is she doing? You're not allowed to do that. She does stuff like that, do that in Japan. It's like, Charlotte gives her a chop, and Kairi just starts slapping Charlotte's tits. It's like, what the fuck? The camera moves away. She is just slapping her. She's trying to pop those damn implants. Charlotte's thinking, what the fuck? She's just slapping Charlotte in the tits. Zelina Vega's hiding under ring. Candice LeRae comes out. People didn't know who she was, unfortunately. You had Alicia Fox. Katie Cat and Zgaro. That was kind of cool. She got a good stuff here. She was a former American Ninja Warrior. Casey is her name. They gave her a lot here. That was a surprise. To move along, we had Ruby Riott come out, who got the showcase here. They gave her a lot. She eliminated a lot of people. You had Candice be eliminated. You had the worst elimination was Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, who just took a fucking nasty bump on her fucking face, which was just terrible. Dana Brooke comes out. Io Shirai gets a good pop. Rhea Ripley comes out. She's good. They had Casey being eliminated by Dana Brooke, which is just stupid. Why? But Casey got a great showing, I have to say that. Deville comes out. She was fine. Then you had 26, Alexa Bliss. I love that. I was so happy to see her back. I knew she wasn't going to win, but just happy to see that girl back. How can you not love seeing Alexa Bliss on your TV screen? She's just so beautiful and just such a sweet girl. She got a big pop here. They really liked her. She got probably the biggest pop of the whole Rumble, except obviously we don't know who in this match. Bayley got a good pop too. I'm happy Bayley gets a good pop. Bliss actually eliminated Deville. Bayley got a couple eliminations. She took out Rhea Ripley and Ruby Riott. Eliminating Ruby's good. So Lana was the big thing. She can't walk. Her legs still mess up because Nakamura and Rusev. We know what's happening. The crowd is loving it. Like, this poor girl's limping to the ring. They're going nuts. We know what's going to happen. Nia Jax comes out. She beats up Lana. It's like, we have to talk about Nia later in this show. Oh, Nia Jax sucks. Who the fuck is still pushing her? Fuck you in this goddamn office who still pushes this lard. She's fucking horrible. Carmella comes out. Yeah, no one knows she's going to win. Finally, Becky is out. They're checking on Lana. The fans are going nuts. They had Fit Finlay there, and she argued with him, and then he finally agrees. They fucking lose their minds. Holy shit, you will never hear a pop like that. It's so fucking rare. You had Alexa Bliss taking out Ember Moon when Becky on the ring, she exchanged some stuff there. Finally, Bliss gets thrown out by Bayley. Then Carmella is eliminated. Nia Jax has Bayley on her back. She gets out, and then the big thing is It's Becky is thrown on the outside. Nia is thrown over the top, but she lands on her feet on the apron. Then Becky smashes her into the steps. Nia enters Becky's knee, which I didn't like. I didn't think they needed to do that. They teased it way too long. And finally, it's Charlotte Becky as the final two. Have a great exchange. Becky wins. She eliminates Charlotte. The fans go nuts. It was a thrill ride watching this match. The second half was great. The first half, not, the second half saved it. Becky wins. She's going to WrestleMania. I don't know how they're going to get there with the main event, but it's Becky Lynch in the main event, hopefully against Ronda Rousey or a triple threat with Charlotte. They can have Charlotte beat Asuka and do a triple threat, or they can have Becky and Ronda and Charlotte and Asuka. But Becky wins. It's all we want to see. She got it. She's the hottest star in the company. She deserves it. The man is going to WrestleMania, but she didn't get to point to a WrestleMania sign because there's no WrestleMania sign. I guess they couldn't put it up. I don't know why. It's an open air arena. I guess it's hard to put up the sign, but they had to put it on the damn Titantron for people to see the sign. I actually went to the worst match of the night, which sucks. This might be the worst match these two have ever had, at least on a pay-per-view, and that's Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. This sucked. I'm just going to say it sucked. It was horrible. The crowd was completely dead. I was blown away how dead it was. And it was unfortunate because this has had probably the best build-up. They've been doing a great job building this matchup on TV. Daniel Bryan's been such this asshole heel. I almost think of it like, I hate to go political, but I think Daniel Bryan is supposed to be this liberal social justice warrior, and AJ Styles is this conservative, all-American, Trump supporter type guy, and they have a really good dynamic, and it's like they didn't get to really go there as much. We know why. They don't want to get political, but they could explore that more. But yeah, it's like, when I was thinking WrestleMania should be 2 nights and show us the Royal Rumble. Like if the first half of the show ends with the Women's Royal Rumble and the first 4 matches on the main card, that's it. That's a great show. What an amazing show. And then you have the second half and the same crowd the next night. It's another great show. The problem is the crowd is dead. This was 7 hours, and this is a dead match. No one cared. It was too bad. Really too bad. It was impossible to follow a Rumble, especially with Becky winning, but man, they're dead here. I don't even remember much that happened. Just had like a basic SmackDown match. Nothing really important. AJ was busted open from his nose. Eric Rowan comes out, and I'm thinking to myself, why isn't this Lars Sullivan? Lars Sullivan would be perfect here. He would fit in great. This is perfect for Lars Sullivan. This is his moment here. After all the shit that happened, perfect for Lars Sullivan to cost AJ the match. He's Daniel Bryan's bodyguard. This is perfect. Eric Rowan, nobody gives a fuck. Why is this guy still employed? I'm surprised he didn't tear his bicep getting to the ring or tear his quad. This guy's fucking fragile. Why not Lars Sullivan in this role? He'd be perfect. Put Lars Sullivan there. I hate the Eric Rowan pairing. I hate that he attacked AJ, and that's how Daniel Bryan wins. This match sucked. Fuck that match. Sorry guys, they had some video package, one for WrestleMania. They did a whole bunch. There's actually a 24 on WrestleMania from last year after this. They pushed halftime heat, which is going to happen next week during the Super Bowl halftime. Lesnar Balor's next. They had Balor go right after Brock. This wasn't too long. They got some time, but not like a lot. They had Balor go after him, and had Lesnar dominate, then had Balor come right at him. It was getting really good. He hit 3 straight dives on Lesnar. The big thing with Lesnar is they kind of played. They didn't bring it up, but they should have brought up his diverticulitis because he took a stomach first bump into the corner of the announcer bond thing. So why aren't they bringing up the diverticulitis? That'd be perfect right here. Bring that up. They never did. The match again. It was a good match. It was fun. They had 8 minutes, which, for a Brock match, that's what he usually does. It's really fast-paced for 8 minutes. And then you might think 8 minutes, But when you think about it, if it's going to be so fast-paced, it can be 8 minutes. Or actually almost 8 minutes, 40 seconds. It feels like it was a lot longer than it really was. It's getting really good. Things of, oh my God, this is going to be a great match. This is great. Finn's getting so much offense, and then boom, it ends. It's how every Brock match is. Every Brock match, it's great. Oh shit, it's getting really good. Especially when you face the smaller guys, and then boom, it's over. It's like, give us under 5 minutes. That's a great match. It's such a good match. It ended abruptly. That I didn't get the point of the Brock Lesnar Finn Balor beatdown until the show ended. I think to myself, you know what? It's not going to be Brock and Seth. What could happen is Seth goes to face Daniel Bryan for the title on SmackDown, and it's Brock Lesnar versus the Demon Finn Balor at WrestleMania. I don't know if that's the direction they're going, but that'd be a really cool direction. But they had Brock beat up Balor, They're clearly continuing this rivalry. I hope we get Brock against the Demon and the Demon slays Lesnar at WrestleMania. Finally, that's what we should get. Because I think that's where we're going. So I'm exhausted. The Daniel Bryan AJ match was boring. Brock and Balor, it was a fun match. It's just the crowd was a little bit dead too. I was like, I'm exhausted. Finally, just like get these damn guys out here. Let's get this match over at the Royal Rumble. Elias comes out. He keeps teasing a song. We never get a song. Jeff Jarrett comes out and the whole double J I don't know, I'm not going to pronounce it. They tease a duet. I thought, all right, they're going to probably sing With My Baby Tonight. Instead, it just keep going back and forth, and Elias lays him out with a punch, hits him with a guitar, he throws him out. I was like, oh, that sucked. Like, did they have to do this whole stuff with Jeff Jarrett? Why couldn't they just do something more that would have worked better? Nakamura comes out, he's doing double duty. Angle got a good pop, but he didn't last long. Big E comes out. I thought he'd have a better showing. Kurt's eliminated. Gargano comes out, big pop, but it's like, I thought he could have had a better showing too. This match sucked. I mean, I didn't like the men's rumble. I wouldn't say it sucked, but the first half was boring. The second half got good. A lot of jobbers. Singh brothers were there with Jinder Mahal. Joe, he didn't have a great showing either. Kurt Hawkins, like, it's a joke. Rollins comes out, like, oh, here we go. He's winning. This is your winner. This is the guy they chose. Why do they like Rollins so much? He bores me to death. Why does he have to win? He had Titus there. Like, he teased a big spot going to the floor. Oh, I forgot to mention Hornswoggle, stuff with Zelina Vega from the women's match. That stuff was just stupid. I forgot to mention that. I wonder why I forgot. They're teasing a lot of stuff. Kofi comes out, it's like Mustafa Ali, he comes out at 13. It's like, the way they treated him was horrible. Ambrose is just nothing now. He's a bum. I hate Rollins being pushed. I think Rollins sucks. He bores me to death. Crowd wasn't even that into him, which I'm happy. I wish like they'd boo him and turn on him like they did on Reigns. No way Jose just gets destroyed. McIntyre, when he came out, I'm not a big McIntyre fan, but man, he had a presence. He had this aura. It's like, oh shit. He came off as a star here. He destroyed all those, the Congo line. That was good. Woods, not much there. Pete Dunne comes out. He didn't get a great showing, I didn't think. I didn't think he got to do as much. I thought the finger stuff, no one really sold it well. Andrade is out. Not a great, thing. Paulo Cruz, no reaction. No one cared. Like, it's so obvious how no one cared. Black got a big pop. Aleister Black. That was good. But again, the way he was eliminated just pissed me off. Shelton Benjamin, no pop. Baron Corbin, and he eliminates a whole bunch of guys. He eliminates Apollo, who they're trying to push. They had him eliminate Aleister Black. Like, go fuck yourselves. Jeff Hardy gets a big pop, but it's like, no one means anything. You know Rollins is going to win. It's probably not going to be Strowman, so it's Rollins. Mysterio, no one believes he's going to win, even though he got a decent pop. He returned last year, but like, he didn't get as big of a pop here. Lashley, he gets thrown out, and they had him go after Rollins, and Rollins he destroys Rollins, puts him through the announce table. Wish he would just eliminate Rollins and get him out of there, because Rollins sucks. Strowman destroys Corbin when he comes out. He's going Rupshaw. It's like, alright, okay, we know Strowman's going to come down to the last one. Rollins isn't going to beat him. Ziggler, who I thought's not with the company anymore, he just comes out. He throws out McIntyre, so that's how they got rid of him. Orton comes out. He was a legitimate threat. So in R-Truth, here we go. Here's the big problem. R-Truth comes out. This sucks because he gets destroyed by Nia Jax. The fans are booing like crazy. Nia Jax, are you fucking kidding me? This sucks. This really sucks. I would have rather seen Elias play for an hour. I would have rather seen have a Jeff Jarrett Kurt Angle stare down, which would have been awkward as hell. I'd rather see anything. I mean, I wish Aleister Black would have won. Anything but Nia Jax in this damn match. She's still being pushed. Fuck off. Fuck you to WWE Creative, who still wants to push her. I saw that damn documentary to WWE24. I can tell why they push her. It's like, she is fucking horrible. This is bullshit. Fuck that. You have Nia Jax eliminating Mustafa Ali. Go fuck yourselves. She's eliminating Mustafa Ali. That is fucking bullshit. She ruined the match. It just sucked, and they had Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio have to lay her out, and they feel bad, and the fans are going, this is awesome because it is, and Rey eliminates her, and Rey has to look sad, which was just funny. So after that, I'm thinking to myself, anyone but Seth. Rey gets thrown out, Randy gets thrown out, then it comes down to the Final Four, Ziggler, Andrade, Strowman, and Rollins. Andrade's out. Ziggler gets tossed out by Strowman, so we know it's Rollins and Strowman. Like, there wasn't any suspense. They did that whole Benoit Big Show spun, which Rollins looks like that. How was it going to end? They brawl on the apron, and Rollins hits a curb stomp. Strowman goes down. Fans were underwhelmed. Match was just boring. Not a big fan at all of the men's match. Not a big fan of Seth Rollins. I don't care what he does at WrestleMania. All I care about is the women's WrestleMania main event. Hopefully it's Ronda Becky or Ronda Becky Charlotte. I'm fine with either decision. I think either way the match will be great. I don't give a shit what they do with the men's championships at WrestleMania. So, especially the Universal title. I don't give a shit what they do with Brock. I don't give a shit about Seth Rollins. So, the first half of the show after Women's Royal Rumble, or from the start to the Women's Royal Rumble ending, was great. I loved it. I loved everything. Even the SmackDown tag match was good. After that, the show pretty much was just bland. They were dead for the WWE title match. Universal title match ended too soon. And I hated the whole ending with the Kimura finish. The men's Rumble, there's just too much jobbers. I didn't care about Seth Rollins. I was bored throughout the most of the match. Aleister Black eliminating Dean Ambrose was a nice surprise, but him being eliminated by Corbin was just a fuck you to the fans. So the match, it put me to sleep. I don't care about Seth Rollins. I'm not a fan of this guy. There was rumors about Roman Reigns returning. I was hoping because I'd rather see him in the spot than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is not the guy. He bores me, so I don't care about him at all. WrestleMania looks like a good show. Looks like it'll be really good this year. If I were to rate Royal Rumble, I'd say it was a good show. I would say it was really good. Not great because the second half, and the show was too long. That's a big problem. 7 hours. 2-hour pre-show, 5-hour main show. That's WrestleMania. WrestleMania is 7 hours. Royal Rumble is 7 hours. It does not need to be 7 hours. But this review was too long because I had to talk about so much. Show was too long. Shorten the shows, WWE. Even though this was a good show, it could have been a lot better if you shortened it. If you're going to do these long shows, I'd rather just do it in 2 days. Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Do it 2 days, 2 nights. But overall, it was still a good show. It was just way too long.